my first question was going actually to Woody, but Woody is busy, so then we are jumping a little bit. We already changing everything, but yeah, we are jumping then to Echo. How do you feel? How this race went for you? How you were predicting how long it's gonna take? Pretty much, definitely before it actually started, you were predicting how long it's gonna take, how long it took for you, and like, was it how you expected? Was it longer? Was it better? Was it how?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So it definitely wasn't how I expected at all. I was kind of approaching the race, like, for me, like, semi-casually. I wasn't expecting to like try to go for one or anything like that, and had no expectations about Necromancer. You know, the joke we use all the time is moving at the speed of Necromancer. So I knew that movement speed would be the big problem going into it. But I had heard that Rax dropped out. I heard that Woody died, and when that happened, I realized that I was kind of carrying the torch for the Maxwell team, and so I decided, like, at that moment to just not sleep and just go as hard as I could and try to get as high of a rank that I could. And I was very surprised that actually I ended up getting to where I went to. So I was able to finish Sunday, I believe, around like 1:30 in the afternoon. So it was like Thursday, Fridays. Yeah, it was almost 3 days. Almost 3 days.
Let's say around 70 hours.
You know, there is a way that you can see your actual time played in the game. All you have to do is let your hardcore character die, and then you can see in the Hall of Heroes how much time you've played that character.
Amazing. That's how we do it. Guys, how was it for you? Like, how, yeah, the time wise, that's what you were expecting in terms of the hardcore solo self-found race? Was it longer? Took it actually longer? Till the death at least.
I mean, for me, I think it was about what I expected. The thing that surprised me about the race is the wall, like the Great Wall of China that you hit when you get to level 50. Like, I cannot believe how slow I started to level from 50 to 60. And there were people watching me race, and I could feel like it wasn't even my morale, the morale of everybody watching me going from crawling from 50 to 51 and 51 to 52. They were like, is this what this has become? I'm like, I don't know, maybe I have the worst strategy ever, but according to the leaderboards, I didn't. I was blasting, and I'm like, wow. I was like, this is going to be rough. But then, of course, when you get into World Tier 4, you get the extra XP, you get your full build, you get the Paragon, and then you start blasting. You even open up like additional Nightmare Dungeon keys. I wasn't getting a lot of the S tier Nightmare Dungeon keys in World Tier 3. Once they started dropping, it's like, okay, this is a little bit more manageable. But I guess that was the part that surprised me. It was like the 50 to 70 range, making like building up your character was like crawling.
I didn't really have that impression, to be honest. Like, in general, the leveling felt really fast to me. And it was just like the slow start to the Renown. Like, I did all the Renown that I guess most others skipped in a race. But for me, like, after I was done with that, I was just like completely like blasting through everything. And it felt like just a really nice, smooth progression to me, honestly. That was like, well, until 93, I guess. When I was like, I was like something like 8 hours away from the finish line, basically, or so I calculated. So I was just like, okay, at that point, I was like level 90 or so. I had to make the decision: do I sleep now, or do I just go through and finish it? And I was like, I can probably just finish it and just kept blasting. But yeah, I was not ready to sleep at that time when it happened. I was really sad, actually. I was like, okay, by the time that breakfast comes around, I can like finish here and I'm good. But yeah, unlucky.
But the second race for you was, I believe, was way faster. That's why you felt so fast.
Yeah, it was way faster. In the launch, like you can notice the impact of the XP
course.
changes they have made and all that stuff over time. So I estimate that we're like something like 30% faster. Like it's basically like a full day less of like this race, right? Like the first race was like 4 days flat, basically, right? Like when I did the first 1 to 100 on launch, it was like exactly 4 days because I finished it like 15 minutes before early access ended. And now it was like, yeah, it was like 3 or something if you count it all together, or less. Yeah. So yeah.
Around 70, a little bit faster maybe.
Yeah, I was actually calculating a lot in how much time we would actually need to plan, to be able to plan when and how long I'm going to sleep, to be able to divide it into like equal parts. And I was very much around thinking that it would be like 60 hours, but I wasn't really calculating with Woody's speed. He would have done it in like what, 55. So that was quite good right there. So I thought I would need like 60, 65, 60, something around that. And I think that's pretty spot on where I would have landed when I would have been a bit more lucky, I guess, with the internet.